Alright, hopefully this works. This is my first video. This is like my 40th attempt and it's getting annoying. But I just wanted to try and get some people out and talk about music and current affairs is what I'm going to use this as a hub for political whatever, you know. And it's going to coincide with my blog with the cideofrice.blogspot.com. Alright, let's talk about Egypt. I know this is an unconventional way, I guess. On a serious note though, my thoughts on Egypt. I think it's time for President Mubarak to abdicate power because it is the people's will. The vast majority, I know he has a percentage of pro his government, people who are for his regime, but since 30% of the Egyptian population is under age of 30, they've lived their whole lives under his tyrannical, not necessarily a terrible, you know, it's not very strict, the lifestyle, but it's a far cry from democracy. And it's spreading like wildfire, the sense of revolution in Egypt and across the entire Middle East. And I know Egypt isn't a Middle Eastern country, but it's very, I mean, for an African nation, it's very close to the Middle East. So now, what do I think is going to happen? I don't think necessarily. I don't think the Egyptian people are going to see a democracy really take place right away. That being because there isn't a democratic nation that's in there, you know, most importantly the United States, that's helping them with the transition. And that's a potential problem when you don't have a strong nation supporting and helping with the transition. That could pose a problem. So that's why people have to be wary of the fact that, you know, you might get some, you know, the military, you're not sure about them, and a lot of military leaders, you know, you don't want them trying to gain power, because the power needs to be in the people, with the people, and that's the main selling point of a democracy. I think everything looks, I think it looks hopeful for the situation in Egypt, and I think strides in, you know, people's rights, women's rights especially, but overall the freedom of the press, assembly, which you've seen, religion in some of those other countries that are, you know, not that there's not a freedom of religion, but some certain religions are oppressed, and in Egypt it's the Christian religion, which makes up a good percentage of the population. It's not the main religion, which is obviously Islam, but you've seen even before these protests and these riots began that Christmas Day there was an Egyptian church bombing. And you don't want, you know, one of the pillars of a stable society is the ability of religion and government to be separated, and overall the people have a peaceful view on religion as a whole. And I think it begins with the government, and I think Mubarak, within the next 2 weeks, he will be gone. He's barely holding on to power as it is, and come September, I don't know what's going to happen in the interim, but come September, apparently there are supposed to be elections, and hopefully September will be where we start to see a democratic government come into place. But I do think Egypt needs the help of outside sources to really stabilize its national security. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. I'm gonna make many more videos like this, political and also music. A lot of stuff I listen to, alternative rock, experimental, psychedelic rock. To name a few, Coldplay, Radiohead. Coldplay is probably the most pop. I listen to MGMT, a lot of old stuff, a lot of Jimi Hendrix, a lot of the Cure, the Clash, Susie and the Banshees, the Pretenders, all that stuff. So subscribe, and thank you. Later.